Good morning and welcome to the Morning Minute. It's Wednesday. I double majored in college and graduated twice, June of 1980 and again December of 1980. I was married on December 28th of 1980 after my father-in-law-to-be died of cancer at the end of November of 1980. I started my job at Merrill Lynch in Fayetteville as a stockbroker after getting back from my honeymoon in January of 1981. Suzanne and I lived in Raleigh the first 5 months of our marriage, so I had to drive from Raleigh to Fayetteville for my work. Perhaps you might agree that during that time, I experienced radical change in my life. Even now, as I consider it, and the radical change in the life of the would-be disciples of Jesus, I believe mine pales in comparison. Let's take a look at their radical change. I want to start with Matthew 4:18 through 22. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I'll send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father, Zebedee, preparing their nets. Jesus called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. When I look at these passages, I see men that not only chose Jesus, but they chose to radically abandon all else for him. This kind of abandoning all else to follow Jesus is all over the Gospels. One example is in the words of Jesus in Luke 14:33. In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciples. The Greek word for give up is a radical word. It means forsake, renounce, abandon. Jesus clarifies exactly what is to be renounced. Everything. The word is used again in Luke 9:61 by the guy who would follow Jesus, but first wanted to tell his family he was forsaking them, abandoning them, and in effect renouncing them. Jesus replied, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God." I'm thinking he's saying, it's not enough. My disciples, when they get it, must just leave and don't look back. This idea of abandoning, forsaking, even renouncing is all over this passage of Matthew 4. They're leaving their comfort, everything familiar they left behind for the uncertain. He didn't tell them where they'd be going. He just told them who they'd be with. Followers of Jesus don't always know where they're going, but they do know who they're with. They were leaving behind their careers. This was a matter of being trained professionals, capable and fruitful. People depended on them. They likely had established trade that depended on them. They were leaving behind possessions. They dropped their nets. They left their boat. These were not wealthy men, but they made a living fishing. And their nets and their boats, well, that was their stock and trade, valuable enough to keep them clean and repaired. We find out later they returned to their boats and nets. But at this moment, they left with nothing in their hands. They were leaving their families. Zebedee, a father, was left mending the nets. It sounds to me like they were abandoning themselves. Jesus said, if you're going to be my disciple, you must deny yourself and follow me. In a world where everything revolves around self, protecting yourselves, promoting yourselves, preserving yourselves, entertaining yourselves, comforting yourselves, taking care of yourselves, Jesus says, die to self. So don't buy it and don't sell it. You know, this idea that all you have to do is make a decision, pray a prayer, sign a card, and become a Christian, and keep your life as you know it. It's not true. You become a follower of Jesus and you lose your life as you know it. Now, I want to be careful here. I'm not saying that every person who follows Jesus is going to lose their career. sell off everything, walk away from their family, and lose their life for the gospel. But the New Testament is clear. Comfort, certainty, they're no longer our first concern. Our careers now revolve around how Jesus can use us to spread the good news. Our possessions are not our own. We no longer live for material treasures in this world. We forsake material treasures in order to produce eternal treasures in the world to come. It might very well mean selling everything we have. When it comes to family, well, absolutely, we're to love our family, honor our parents, and love our spouses. You can't use passages like this to justify being a lousy child, a lousy husband, wife, or parent. But our love for Jesus should cause the love in our closest relationships to look like hate in comparison. We go where he goes. Because self is no longer our God. Safety is no longer our priority. We fear being reckless with our faith, right? And yet, in America, we are more likely in greater danger of being safe than we are of being reckless. We die to self. We give up our sinful nature. We risk our lives. We don't bow to the altar of safety. This is what it means to follow Jesus. We hold loosely to the things of this world, and we boldly grab hold of the person of Jesus Christ and the purpose of his kingdom. Now, I know this sounds dramatic, and it always will until we fully grasp the one we're called to follow. Until we realize who Jesus is, forsaking comfort, laying aside our careers, abandoning our possessions, leaving our family, well, it doesn't make sense, right? But when you realize who Jesus is the only thing that makes sense. Matthew 13:44 tells the story of a man that found a treasure in the field. He covered it back up, and with joy, it says, he went and sold all his possessions and bought the field. Jesus is like the treasure, and that is what it's like to follow him, radically different than any life the world offers. Be blessed by the treasure Jesus Christ and go share Jesus with someone else. Amen.